I am going to go through the various awards now and read a little bit about each person. I'm going to try to do this seamlessly, but I will rather frequently refer to Heather or Mark for assistance, just so you know. Okay. As I read your name for each award, it is your choice if you want to stand the entire time I'm talking about you, or if you prefer to stand when I'm done. Again, that's totally your choice. I know where each of you are, so I will be looking for you to make that choice. I think with the individual awards and the team awards, you're going to come forward and get your award from the commissioner and then sit back down, is my understanding. Okay. You could hang out, whatever you choose.
We really don't do a heck of a lot.
Whatever. And there'll be an opportunity for pictures later. Okay, first of all, Supervisor of the Year, Phil Damone from the Brattleboro office, Brattleboro Probation and Parole office. Phil works with the, okay, yeah, fine, go ahead. Phil works with the criminal court to ensure that sentencing in Windham County follows best practices for public safety and rehabilitation and recognizes the resource limitations of our correctional system. He has the respect of defense attorneys, prosecutors, and judges who regard him as a colleague and a guide through the complexities of program eligibility. He is also a knowledgeable supervisor of line staff at Brattleboro Probation and Parole. In 2010, Phil was asked to serve as interim district manager for half the year. He did this in addition to his normal duties, and he earned recognition for excellence in that role. He is a level-headed professional who serves the department and all Vermonters well. Thank you, Phil. Next, Correctional Officer, CCO, CSTL of the Year. In this case, it is a team of community service team leaders from the Barry Probation and Parole Office, Fred Fleury and Mike Merchant. The staff at Barry Probation and Parole noted that you both exemplify commitment to the mission of the Department of Corrections, an ability to work through adversity and still maintain a valuable program. Your willingness to help out in all areas of the office and your positive team-oriented attitude were appreciated by your fellow office and the department. Thank you. And you called each other this morning, didn't you?
Yeah.
For other CSTLs, you'll be getting that uniform next week. Corrections Service Specialist, also with the Barry office, Susan Wells. Susan is an excellent probation officer and has become an extremely important member of the sex offender team at the Barry Probation and Parole. She is keenly aware of the need for public safety in managing the sex offender population, but manages to balance the immediate need for protection of the public with the long-term goal of rehabilitating the offender. She works well with victims, is regularly communicating with law enforcement and coordinating services with local sex offender providers. She is an asset not just to this office, but to the community as a whole. Administrative Support Person, Bill Scott, Support Person of the Year. In every large organization, there are a few individuals who become known as resources, as go-to people. Bill Scott is one of these gems. As quarterly budget reviews approach, he provides assistance with complex questions involving the minute details of benefit costs, spreadsheet creation, and troubleshooting, cost projections, and many other details of our financial functioning. Whenever you call, no matter how busy he is, Bill will answer you in the same calm, friendly voice, will give you solid, expert information, and will treat you for the duration of the call as though you were his only priority. Thank you, Bill. Next is our Team of the Year, and I would like to point out that this team was also the DOC selection for the Governor's Award for the Team of the Year earlier this month. And that is the Sex Offender Supervision Team from Burlington Probation and Parol. The team members are Rebecca Collins, Kris Barrows, Walter Coble, Maria Godleski, Kris Goldstein, David Jaques, and Michael Trombley. The Sex Offender Supervision Team at Burlington Probation and Parol is comprised of highly skilled individuals, each having expertise in the risk management supervision of sex offenders under various legal statuses. Although each member possesses strong individual strengths, they meet weekly in order to maintain and fortify a team approach to supervision strategies while providing support for each other, information sharing, problem solving, and consistent responses pertaining to accountability strategies are a few of the byproducts obtained as a team. All members have come to know each other's caseloads to some extent through this process, which enhances coverages and overall supervision. The supervision standards and other requirements by statute has increased significantly in recent years for convicted sex offenders, including change in the sex offender registry laws, changes in pre-sentence investigations, required assessments, and polygraph criteria. All have impacted this particular team. Additionally, within the last quarter of this past year, a statewide audit of all sex offender caseloads took place. Although this was not isolated to the Burlington Probation and Parole Office, as you all know, it's noted that this team took on whatever work time, extra work time, to follow through on what was needed in a diligent and positive manner while ensuring their other duties did not fall short. This was carried out often in a team approach and is another example of the commitment and dedication they bring to the workplace individually and as a strong functioning unit. The Preservation of Life Awards now. The Preservation of Life Award recognizes any department employee who takes spontaneous and immediate action in response to a life-threatening illness or injury to a staff member, offender, inmate, volunteer, contractor, or member of the public. Some of the criteria are a candidate will be considered based upon an incident or event where the person takes spontaneous, immediate action in response to all the other things I just said. Okay. That being said, first, Todd Blanchard and Rolla Thomas from Newport. On January 19th, 2011, CSS Todd Blanchard responded to a fire at the Northern State Correctional Facility. Upon arrival, not only did he extinguish the fire, he also stopped a staff member from using the wrong type of extinguisher and employed the correct one himself. CO2 Rolla Thomas also responded to the fire after the gas repairman had been blown back and fell under the flame that was still shooting out of the gas line. CO2 Rolla Thomas reached under the flame and dragged the man to safety, preventing what could have been devastating injuries. Roger Grenier and Tello Young. On the evening of December 25th, Not always a happy time in a facility. Correctional Officer Roger Grenier negotiated with a hostage taker. Shift Supervisor Young worked as the incident commander and also communicated with the hostage taker, using their training and skill, resulting in a positive outcome. State, Howard Brooks. On August 12, 2010, while working his post, CO2 Brooks observed a coworker choking. This was a serious, life-threatening situation. CO Brooks took immediate action, calling for medical assistance and performed the Heimlich maneuver. This dislodged the particle and allowed the staff member to breathe. This was an instantaneous reaction, putting training into action in an emergency situation without hesitation. Facility, Matt Nault. On July 10, 2010, during the dinner meal, Supervisor Nault was running shift at the Chittenden Correctional Facility when he responded to an emergency call from the dining room officer. Upon arrival in the dining room, Supervisor Nault observed an offender struggling to breathe and red in the face. Supervisor Nault asked the inmate if he was choking, and the inmate gave the sign that he was. Supervisor Nault administered the Heimlich maneuver and dislodged the item from the inmate's throat. Supervisor Nault's quick thinking, his ability to stay calm, and his training may have saved this inmate's life. Facility, Correctional Officer Amber Bedard. On August 16, 2010, Correctional Officer Amber Bedard was working in Charlie Unit at the Chittenden Regional Correctional Facility when she observed an inmate choking and unable to breathe. The inmate was suffering from medical issues that prevented her from standing on her own. Officer Bedard lifted the inmate from the bed and, holding her body up, administered the Heimlich maneuver and dislodged the object from the inmate's throat.